Hi guys, how is everybody doing? Welcome into to Rover, my show. Um, just doing a little bit of a live stream right here. Still away from home, still in the hotel. Away from home on a little trip for New Year's. I wanted to pop up and go live because there's just so much content to get to, and I could do individual videos. I could have tried to film them at different times, but I kind of like doing it in this format. It's more fun. I get all my thoughts out kind of on one video. I know it might not be the best to kind of grow the channel, but I'm sure you guys will also get the job. Yes, Tanner, I always know that you work so late. Noah, how are you guys? We can do a Q&A. We can have a little bit of fun here. I don't want to go to bed at all, at least for now. Who knows, by the end of this video, the NyQuil or whatever I'm taking might pop in. Yo, thanks so much. Oh, no. Oh my God, Ronaldo, that was so crazy that you changed your username to Eli Manning because that was awesome. Noah Cahill, how are you? It's great. Vacation's great in Florida. Really good time. Jet Central and I actually watched a little football. It was a lot of fun, and playoffs are going great. New Year's Eve was a good time, fun time last night. It's decent. I think some people overrate how special it can be on social media and stuff, but getting down to Florida is great. Warm weather, just kind of need the vacation. So I really appreciate those comments. But enough about me. There's so much news. Yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta watch a Fantastic series. I haven't watched Fantastic Four at all. Noah, what's interesting, man? Biggest Giants fan. I love Saquon Barkley. It's almost sacrilegious to say that you can even criticize him at all. He's a perfect personality, perfect person. But with Baker Mayfield, what he did with that Browns organization this year, to keep Gregg Williams afloat, it was incredible. I'm going to give it to Baker Mayfield over Saquon Barkley. Baker did a great job with the Browns, but it doesn't matter. Saquon Barkley is going to be a better football player than Baker Mayfield, I think. And I think Saquon Barkley is going to win. I think Saquon Barkley is going to win MVPs. Davis Webb a starter. I hope it's for the Denver Broncos. That's my guy. That's my place. LSU over UCF. UCF, their quarterback, I did not know how bad he was throwing the football. UCF matched up with them physicality-wise. I was surprised Joe Burrow got off in that game and was hitting big pass plays. Joe Burrow looked a little bit better, but UCF, oh boy. Yeah, that speaks volumes. You are the entertainer, the biggest fan of Saquon Barkley. But with Baker Mayfield, what he did with the Cleveland Browns this year is absolutely, and I'm getting this for a second. Hold on one second. Okay. What Baker Mayfield, what he did with the Cleveland Browns is was incredible. Taking them, making them into a contender, beating Atlanta, beating Carolina, winning all those games at home, going into Denver and winning a game. Rookie quarterbacks never won in Denver before. The identity's completely changed. And you could say they had a lot of talent, but he made Njoku good. He made Carlos Hyde good. He raised the bar and did so much more than a rookie quarterback has ever done. 20 Savage, congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. Boy, 20 Savage is a big Texas fan. I know we have some college football people in here. For the Georgia Bulldogs, the Georgia fans are some of the cockiest fans in in college football on YouTube in general. I mean, I love Uncle Lou. He's a good friend of mine, but a lot of people and saying that they should have went to the playoffs and the 4-team and the guys like Elijah Holy, Nico Hardman, all those guys, that were out there tweeting that You know, they should have been in the college football playoff, and freaking Georgia got stomped by Texas tonight. And now Georgia, you know what, all their fans are going to say, we didn't want to play in the game. We were not motivated to play. Texas was so motivated. It was like their Super Bowl and whatever. Come on. You got to play the game. You got to hand it to Texas. None of those excuses. Texas mauled you. Tom Herman, Sam Ehlinger played a great game. He surprised me. Texas is really coming back. I'm not ready to say they're back, but they're coming back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys beat Georgia by 20. Joe Burrow was great for LSU. Oh, yeah. Dwayne Haskins today. I watched the first half. Washington's quarterback, Jake Browning, is terrible. They don't have any offense outside of Myles Gaskins. I'll tell you what, though. Dwayne Haskins is a stud, and he knows how to win. I watched Drew Lock yesterday. Drew Lock didn't win the game outright. Dwayne Haskins, Rose Bowl setting, 19, 20-year-old kid playing on ABC or ESPN in front of the whole nation in the most famous bowl of them all. He was absolutely superb. The thing that I love about Dwayne Haskins is he has a great feel for the pocket. He doesn't get sacked. He sees reads. He anticipates with reads. He's a freaking winner, you know, and he has that personality. And I love Drew Lock. Drew Lock takes a lot of shit from a lot of people. A lot of people doubt Drew Lock, and that's kind of what makes you like Drew Lock. It's kind of like with Josh Allen, right? I'm one of the guys who's like, give Josh Allen a chance. Give Josh Allen a chance. So Dwayne Haskins, everybody loves Dwayne Haskins. Everybody loves him. The Giants got him. I think the guy's going to be very, very successful. It's hard to watch that game and think that there's any other quarterback that's better this year than Dwayne Haskins, even Drew Lock. And I'd be happy with either one of them. I like them both. I've kind of been on Team Lock for a long time, but Dwayne Haskins is really a clutch player. He understands the game. He's a freaking winner. And I don't know, man. Dwayne Haskins behind Eli Manning. By the way, the one thing about Haskins that he has that's great for a Pat Shurmur offense is Dwayne Haskins has touch in the damn pocket. The one thing about Dwayne Haskins is that he can throw, you know, the crossing routes, and he can hit 5 to 10 yard throws. He can hit the small stuff with great touch, but then he throws big time throws. He can also hit the intermediates. He is a guy that is one step ahead of everybody else from a cerebral standpoint. He has a great feel for the game, and he's a competitor. And watching that game, he didn't flinch under the biggest stage. Haskins is really, really good. And I think Giants fans, I think whoever we take this year, quarterback or defensive player, Devin White was all over the field for LSU as well today. Giants are in great shape. We're going to get a great player. So I probably would go Haskins or Lock. I still want to see more. I kind of want to get the quarterback already and shut the media up. But I think Eli's going to be back next year. Washington's defense is never bad. They're just stubborn as hell. They're just so damn stubborn. So damn stubborn. I think Eli next year for sure. Ronaldo, I still know who you are. Did Kentucky win or Penn State? I hope Kentucky won. I bet Penn State won. I didn't see the end of that score, but it was a fun bowl game for sure. Let's get into the coaching firings. Todd Bowles is out. We knew that would happen. Biggest surprise, Adam Gase in Miami getting out. Again, you know what? I did not expect that. Oh my gosh, Gregg Williams. Yo's son says, let's talk some freaking Browns on here. Gregg Williams, if I were the Cleveland Browns, you need a fiery coach to pair with Baker Mayfield. If you guys hire John Dorsey's friend Mike McCarthy, if you hire Mike McCarthy, that would be a horrible move for the Cleveland Browns. And I'll address Gritty Giants' point about Eli Manning, but you cannot hire Mike McCarthy if you're Cleveland. He's stale. He will castrate Baker Mayfield. He will neuter him. He's a terrible, terrible head coach. Terrible head coach, okay? With Aaron Rodgers, I like Freddie Kitchens. I like Kitchens, and I like Gregg Williams. I mean, Gregg Williams and them almost beat the Seattle, or they almost beat Baltimore together. both of those guys. So no McCarthy, none of this outside nonsense. If you get Chris Richard from the Cowboys, he will be phenomenal, and try to keep Freddie as an offensive coordinator, okay? Chris Richard or keep Freddie. But Gregg Williams and Freddie, they should just run it back, because Baker Mayfield loved that team. The Browns and Gregg Williams went 5-2. 5-2. So I really think that Gregg Williams deserves another chance with Cleveland. He did really, really good. Thank you. I saw some other great questions. A lot of Eli Manning comments. I think Eli still has a lot to play for. I don't want to see him go out on these terms. And if you draft a rookie quarterback, Eli Manning will show him for a year, and then he's done. Are you talking about Hollywood Brown? Hollywood Brown is a very good player. I know he didn't play well against Alabama. I know that he was in Miami. He was nervous to be back in his hometown. He was very banged up. I know he played terrible, but Hollywood Brown I think Hollywood Brown is still going to be a great player for the NFL. He reminds me of Tyreek Hill. He's a burner, and fast guys always have places in the NFL. Yes, McCarthy is stale and old. Stale and old, for sure. Denver's next head coach. I think you should look at Shane Waldron. I think you should look at Zach Taylor. John Harbaugh is a good coach. And if Harbaugh and the Ravens, the Broncos might try to do a trade for John Harbaugh. I don't think Shanahan is coming back. Elder Mike Shanahan. They want an experienced head coach. So, the way it's going to go, I could see McCarthy interviewing out in Denver, actually. I could see a defensive guy like the guy from freaking Colts. Lalo, how are you? 49ers for an Odell Beckham pick would be a lot of fun. I think I would enjoy it a lot with Cody Latimer. Cliff Kingsbury to the Jets is so exciting. So exciting. Eyeball Billy, Steve Wilks, great questions on Steve. I'll address them now. So with Steve Wilks, and then Mitch with the ultimate question. The thing is, great questions, keep them rolling. With Steve Wilks, he couldn't get to Josh Rosen. He had no plan. He had no plan with Josh Rosen as his quarterback. Mike McCoy was hired for Steve Wilks. Steve Wilks dismissed Mike McCoy, put Byron Leftwich on the staff. The defense didn't get better, and the quarterback was a complete disaster. The offense, he was way in over his head. He didn't have any plan for how the future would work, and the defense is too talented to be that lackluster. Players in the locker room were quitting on him. I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel with Steve Wilks. I like a young offensive coordinator with a guy like Josh Rosen, who's very demanding. For the New York Jets, Chris Richard is a flat-out beast. I think Richard would be great in Cleveland as well. The thing about Richard in a big market is the thing about him, Chris Richard, and you guys should Google right now, Chris Richard, K-R-I-S, Richard. Richard is a guy that was on the that was on the Cowboys defensive staff. He's the Legion of Boom guy. He's very rowdy, very in your face. He's a little bit like Rex Ryan. He's going to motivate guys. You know what he's going to do? He's going to tussle with coaches. Richard is a dog that you want on your team. You want a guy like him. He has that alpha dog mentality. But the thing about him is he'll ruffle feathers. He's not the most politically correct guy. And he might not be the most CEO type of guy, if that makes sense. Like, he is going to go in the media and he could possibly, say some outlandish things, which I really like. But in a big market, there might be people that are overly critical on Richard, and Richard doesn't have coaching experience, and he's like a secondary coach that's very young, and it's kind of a big risk because you don't know if he's going to like all the media pressures and everything. The players love him. I like Richard so much. And I think for the Jets, it's a big, big risk. A lot of people are afraid to hire him because he gets players fired up. He brawls with coaches at midfield. He is so much fun, such a lightning rod, but people are afraid of his personality and that he's young. Antonio Brown wants out. Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette. Both of those dudes want out of town. First of all, I don't blame Mike Tomlin for putting up with Big Ben Roethlisberger. You could say what you want about Big Ben Roethlisberger, but Mike Tomlin defending his quarterback is perfect. Antonio Brown on Twitter, he's just been getting kind of crazy this year. He's been becoming more and more vocal. And in throwing footballs at guys in practice at week 16 of the season, ridiculous. Ridiculous and unacceptable. Antonio Brown's just going off. He's just acting wild right now. That whole Steelers organization is a mess. Between the offensive line, Le'Veon Bell, freaking Tomlin, everybody, huge egos together. But the one thing I'll say about Brown, right, is that he's not a bad guy off the field. He hasn't done anything terrible off the field, right? The other thing I'll say is best wide receiver in the NFL. DeAndre Hopkins, him, then number 3, I would put Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, probably. I don't think Giants fans are going to say Eli is done, man. I don't think so. Me and Chris ain't saying it. So my number 1 quarterback, this is the question I get, Drew Lock or Dwayne Haskins. It's tough. I like Locke the kid, you know. I've been a fan of Locke since Locke first got to Missouri. Like, I love his... I do love Locke. I love the journey, you know. You fall in love with certain players. Dwayne Haskins is so damn good. I think Dwayne Haskins is going to be a better prospect. But Drew Lock is one of those guys. It's very hard because I followed Locke for a while. I think Locke can be all right. But I think Dwayne Haskins will ultimately be better than Drew Lock. And, you know, it's a little painful to say because you're kind of a Lock guy. I don't hate Haskins as well. It's very, 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 very close. Cornelius, no. I think Dwayne Haskins is a winner. And that's why I think the Giants are going to get him. And for Drew Lock, I'm going to root for him wherever he will go next year. So I like both of these quarterbacks. Who's the better long-term quarterback? The better long-term quarterback, Josh Allen, Samuel G. Darnold, or Josh Rosen. I'm going to take Josh Allen right now. I love Brian Dable. I love the staff that they're putting in Buffalo. I do love that. I do want to come on and do the top 10 quarterbacks list, especially maybe when we're hanging out, you know, possibly over the weekend. It'd be a great time to record the video. Yo, son, those are your words. And I kind of agree with those sentiments. Who are you picking for the Super Bowl? Great question. A lot of Sam Darnold hate on my channel. I'm going to do a Sam Darnold review, but I'm not going to state my opinion again because I don't want to get that many dislikes. Who the heck wants to get as many dislikes? Yep, Ronaldo. I didn't put them up to it, man. You'll be distracted with them before me. Super Bowl picks in the chats coming up right now. I got the Dallas Cowboys coming out of the NFC, not the Eagles. Dallas Cowboys. I also think I picked games with my dad. I think that the Bears have a great chance to beat the Eagles because you have Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Adrian Amos, all those dudes in the secondary with Vic Fangio, Nick Foles, you know. The Bears got to stop the run, and the only thing that will prevent the Bears from losing the game, because I don't see the Bears giving up more than 17 points to Nick Foles and the Eagles. Mitch Trubisky has to beat 17 points. He has to be smart with the football. He has to be very smart with the football, Mitchell Trubisky. He's going to be so juiced going into that Bears-Eagles game, and The Bears, they just got to take care of the ball. They can't be too animated and too amped up, I'll tell you that much. But I got the Cowboys out of the NFC. The Cowboys are hitting their stride. Their win over the Giants is big for momentum. Cowboys go into New Orleans and win a shocker. And then they're like going to beat the Cowboys or the Rams. They're going to beat the Rams in the NFC title. They're going to beat the Rams in the NFC title game. And the Cowboys are going to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And I'm going to go with the Patriots out of the AFC. Patriots, Chiefs, we're going chalk. I will tell you this. The sexiest pick in the NFL right now, you know what, is what Entertainer just said, is the Indianapolis Colts. We have Brett Coleman on here calling it. We have the Entertainer. These are all YouTubers I respect, but I'm going to give this nod to the Entertainer. And I'm going to give the Entertainer this one. I believe the Colts will beat the Houston Texans. I believe the Colts are going to beat the Houston Texans, and you know what else I believe? This is what else I believe is going to happen. I believe that the Colts and the Chiefs are going to be an amazing game in the second round. Amazing, amazing football game. I think the Patriots are beating the Chargers. I think the Patriots are beating the Ravens too, because Lamar Jackson is not going into New England and beating Tom Brady in a Bill Belichick defense. Bill Belichick, you know, he beat Jim Kelly. He beat that elite Furman Thomas Bills, one of the greatest offenses ever. Bill Belichick's the greatest football coach maybe ever. He will know how to defend a run-read option scheme. So I do believe the Ravens will lose to the Patriots. I also believe the Chargers will. But Chiefs and Colts, that game will be a thriller. That will be one of the best games in the NFL. That will be one of the best games in the NFL. Yeah, I know I have some distractions going on. But Chiefs Colts will be so much fun. I'm taking the Colts, but I could see, or I'm taking the Chiefs. I could see the Colts winning that football game, and then let's go with the Patriots winning it all. Sports stock's in the back, you know, ruffling around and getting ready to go to bed. Telling him to go to bed and leave me alone. It's my room. Leave me alone. Well, listen, Mitch, the Colts can do it. Ravens versus Chargers winners or Colts? So what's a wild card? Why do you not think Mahomes deserves the MVP? Are you mad? Just got sprayed by the roommate. Hard enough doing a video out here. I think that the Colts... I think that the Indianapolis Colts, getting back to my thoughts, I think the Colts have a great chance from the wild card, but Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. Patrick Mahomes is the damn MVP of the league, okay? 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, you can't do that. No, he didn't. He beat the Ravens. He beat the Ravens. He went out and beat Seattle. I know he lost to Seattle, but he still played great in those games. He played big in those games versus the Rams and everybody. Hey, he beat the Chargers week 1. He beat the Steelers week 2. He's won a lot of important games. He beat the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football with that clutch end-of-game drive. Clutch against the Ravens. He is a beast. Drew Brees has fallen off. There's never going to be a quarterback in the next 10 years that's going to do what Mahomes is doing. Yeah, things are getting heated here, Ronaldo, in this hotel area. Anyway, let's talk about the damn coaches here before I jet on out or before crazy stuff happens. Mike Mayock to the Raiders is an absolutely slam dunk freaking hire. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And I shave too, and I still get called a bear. What can a man do? Maybe I got to go on a diet. The Raiders, it's a great decision to hire Mike Mayock. It's an incredible decision to hire Mayock. I'll tell you why. Because the thing is about Mike Mayock is that, you know, he studies NFL guys. He evaluates college guys for a living all the time. And Mayock has been entrenched in the draft. He knows he has so many contacts around the NFL. No one said that John Lynch would be able to fulfill the rights of a general manager when John Lynch was was, you know, a television broadcaster. But Mike Mayock will be fantastic for John Gruden. He will. He will push back. Mike Mayock, great creative hire by Oakland. He was tremendous on TV. He's a great guy, great personality, and him and John get along. That was the best hire of the offseason. For the New York Jets, Cliff Kingsbury is a hell of an option. A guy that everybody loves, a young, enthusiastic coach that will get along with Sam Darnold from the quarterback position. Jamal Adams and everybody else absolutely loves Cliff Kingsbury, the fired Texas Tech coach. And I like Cliff Kingsbury as well. The thing that Cliff did terrible in Lubbock is he never had a defense. Cliff Kingsbury never had a defense in Lubbock, Texas. He always had great offenses. I'm in a hotel because I'm on the road right now. He played great in that Patriots game, by the way. And what was it? What was the record he had for the regular season? Mahomes, 13-3, and he won the AFC. He won the AFC at 13-3. Drew Brees also lost versus the Saints. Okay, so Mahomes. Mahomes is the MVP. The second thing that I am going to say is that Cliff Kingsbury is a good option for the Jets, no doubt, because now the defense will be up to NFL standards. So you want my list for the Cleveland Browns or the New York Jets? I'll do the New York Jets first. I think these are the 3 or 4 guys I would be interested in. Zach Taylor, I would be interested in. I would be interested in Chris Richard. I would be very interested in Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know about Jim Harbaugh. I don't love that hire. Shane Waldron, Zach Taylor, Chris Richard, Cliff Kingsbury for the Jets. For the Cleveland Browns, number 1 should be Chris Richard from the Cowboys. Chris Richard is a flat-out beast, okay? Chris Richard, yo, son, you have to look up Chris Richard. And then the other coach that is a good coach for Cleveland is Freddie Kitchens. Freddie and then Gregg. Because you don't want to mess things up. You don't want to bring in a McCarthy. You don't want to bring in a guy. Maybe Severini will be a decent coach for the Cleveland Browns, but Gregg Williams and Freddie Kitchens, keep Freddie, because Freddie loves Baker Mayfield. You have to make your young quarterback happy. And Freddie Kitchens with Baker Mayfield, it's perfect. Exactly. You don't want to mess that up at all. So maybe you even make Freddie the head guy. But you don't want to go with an old and stale coach that is going to, like Mike McCarthy would take all the fun out of Cleveland. Juice Landry would hate Mike McCarthy and his rigidness. You need a fun players coach that Baker can rally behind for sure. Yeah, I heard that quote from Jet Central about Mahomes, and it was crazy. Mahomes is a flat-out stud. He's the MVP 100%. 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, 13-3, and everybody expected the Kansas City Chiefs to be awful this year or to be 8-8 after Alex Smith. They just thought Mahomes would throw all these interceptions. No one called that he would be an MVP. And you know Richard is a good coach because Cowboys fans want to keep on to him. Lamar Jackson is a pretty good quarterback right now. We have to see. If Lamar Jackson won't know how to throw when NFL defenses collide the line of scrimmage, he won't have a long-term future in this league. But right now, Lamar Jackson is a better option than Joe Flacco, and he's going to win playoff games. I don't think Lamar Jackson will be a sustainable quarterback. I don't think Lamar Jackson will be sustainable for the long term, but for right now, it's a beautiful thing. And the one thing about Lamar is that he slides. Chris the Entertainer, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. It's always great hanging out and talking with you and talking with every one of my listeners right here. It's great to get on here, and it's great to discuss and answer these questions. I really appreciate the super chat, and I look forward to coming up to New York and getting some games in this weekend, doing some playoff football. Should be live streaming Saturday night on the Entertainers Network. We have some really big plans, and I hope that they all work out. So thank you for the super chat. For the Denver Broncos, I think Denver is going to go old school. I would like Zach Taylor. I would like Shane Waldron, somebody from the Rams tree to possibly get a job. Severini, you know, Mike Kafka, you know, who knows. Drew Lock over Sam Darnold. But the Bengals, too. The Bengals, I like a 4-3 defense, to answer your question. I love a 4-3 defense. It has more flexibility. If John Harbaugh leaves the Ravens, he will be going to the Broncos because the Broncos love John Harbaugh. That is the rumor out there right now. Out of all the coaches fired, I pretty much agreed with all of them. The toughest job to me is probably the Miami Dolphins. And then for Tampa Bay, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen for Tampa Bay is that you got to be okay with Jameis Winston and maybe having Jameis on a one-year deal. With Marcus Mariota is like tin glass. He just falls apart all the time. Marcus Mariota is a quarterback where you're going to have to franchise him for one-year deals. Yes, great question. We're going to be going on, we'll announce that all on different channels. Yes, you're right. I said I was going to Chicago. I don't think that's going to work. Do you think Todd Bowles will land a job elsewhere in a defensive capacity? I don't know if Mariota sucks yet. I think Mariota can be decent, kind of like Kirk Cousins, like an okay, pretty good quarterback. But the fact that he's always hurt is ridiculous, and that's why you don't sign him to a long-term deal. My boy D. Webb is going to be a free agent. I can't wait to see where Davis Webb ends up. I'm hoping it's either Denver or Washington or maybe the Oakland Raiders. Those are my top three choices, maybe Jacksonville, maybe Miami. All the coaches that are getting rehired. Yes, we are going to go live on either the Entertainers channel or Jet Central's channel. We're going to build up traffic, and this playoff weekend is going to be superb, absolutely superb. But this coaching season was absolutely crazy. I think it was time for Marvin to go. I think, you know, Steve Wilks didn't really have a vision. I liked Riverboat Ron staying. I agreed with Marone staying, and I agreed with Quinn staying. I think Antonio Brown, I think that there's a real possibility he's out of Pittsburgh, but I don't think it actually is going to happen. I don't think Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins are enemies, though. They're just trying to work things out, and I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on Kirk Cousins. Everybody's saying he's a bust and that these 4 years, he only has 3 more years left on his contract. He only signed a 4-year deal. And the thing is about Cousins, he might not be the best, but Kirk Cousins can get you into the playoffs and he can win some playoff games. I think that he's going to hit it eventually. I don't think Kirk Cousins is a complete atrocity. I think Case Keenum is just as bad. I see Chicago eking it out. I said Philly earlier, but I'm going to go with Chicago. Mitchell just can't implode. Trubisky can't implode. The Jags will not trade Fournette. They will cut Fournette, and Fournette will likely go to the Colts or the Eagles. Kirk Cousins, you can't argue it. He was flat out awful. I've been a Kirk Cousins guy. He's not a bust yet, but he's doing terrible in the big games. And if he can overshape that, you got to call it like it is. He sucks in the big games. The Chicago game, I mean, just the ticket prices and everything involved with that, it's just too tough to get up to Chicago. I would like to go to a playoff game this year, obviously. Maybe New Orleans Cowboys would be like the most fun playoff game to go to if I had to go to one playoff game. But the Chicago market, and also it's tough. It's a Sunday night game, which is a little bit tough with plane flights and things of that nature to go to a playoff game. Screw school. Screw school, man. School is for, you know. Listen, look at me right now. Look at this, man. Look at me living the life, you know. And I didn't even go to school or get great grades. And look at what I'm doing. Look at where I'm at, man. Look at where I'm at in my life. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. You're better than that. You know that was a joke. Stay in school, get good grades, don't do drugs. Fubzilla, am I a traveling man? I like to travel, but I get out on a couple of trips Just like the rest of the population, I guess. Live around the Pennsylvania area, man. Appreciate y'all asking about it. The Philadelphia area. Are you in college? Hey, man, that's pretty badass. You might be going with the fake ID trying vodka shots on New Year's Eve. Oh, my gosh, man. I tried a little, Jack and Ginger, a little watered down drinks. I had Jack and Ginger, and I also had whiskey and Coke, or rum and Coke. And I'll tell you what, it was all right. Because you were yeah, I'm sure you're kind of with your parents. I'm out of college. I still hang out with my parents as well. I was at my parents at New Year's Eve, and taking shots and getting so hungover and drunk in the morning is horrible. You learn that you learn that pretty quickly. Like when to stop drinking alcohol. And yeah, my dad and I do a show together. He's sometimes called other names on the show, but I always love to include him. I think that he's a pretty good guy, pretty talented guy. My dad. Yeah, the key is stay in school, but also I've learned at a younger age. I mean, I still hang out with my parents. Yeah, just like Gritty Giant. Me and him doing the same type of New Year's stuff. We were listening to a lot of classical 80s disco music. I was one of the youngest people there. Shirley Temples will always be your friend. No, I mean, yeah, I had a couple drinks last night, but it wasn't too crazy. You always go to an age, you get to an age where eventually, you're drinking a lot of stuff, and then it's like, you know what, why am I feeling so ill in the morning? Why do I have to drink all this Gatorade? Why? You got to find that sweet spot where you get a couple of drinks, you feel decently good, but then you don't get hungover in the morning. And the key is everybody wants to have a few drinks to talk to women. It's tough talking to women, at least for the Bear. Maybe not if you're the Entertainer or Jet Central, or maybe if you're Gritty Giant or even Ronaldo Allen. You pity Josh? You know what? I do too. It's like nobody gives a crap about Josh Rosen. It's like nobody gives a crap about Josh Rosen out in Arizona, right? He's out in the desert. And I don't think he sucks. I think he needs an offensive line. Just nobody cares about Arizona Cardinals football, especially on YouTube. So that's why a lot of people don't cover his work. He needs a very good coach. He needs a Sean McVay type of quarterbacks coach, and he needs a condensed offense. He also has no offensive line help, so he's put in a position to fail. I think Josh Rosen could be very good. I'm not selling Josh Rosen stock at all. I like his delivery. I liked him before the draft. I'm willing to give Josh definitely, because I believed in Josh Rosen. And yes, McCoy was terrible. The offensive line is terrible. Josh Rosen could be like Peyton Manning, where Peyton Manning had a terrible rookie year and he, might bounce back. Now, Entertainer believes Sam Darnold will bounce back and Josh Rosen will just be a bust. I think the ceiling on Rosen is really good. He's never been a guy that's well-liked in the locker room, and off the field, that is why I didn't want the Giants to get him. If I had to pick between Rosen or Darnold in 5 years, I'm taking Rosen. A lot of people on here would take Sam Darnold. I think Rosen can be incredibly successful just by the way that you see him on tape. He just has to get along with the locker room. He has to be coachable, get along with his head coach, and I believe he can have success in this NFL. I think he has all the tools to do it. He just needs to learn the speed of the pro game, and he needs to have a concise approach, and that's why Arizona fired Steve Wilks, because Steve Wilks was leading Josh Rosen into a 10-foot ditch. Sam Darnold, got to get a good quarterbacks coach to be around him in order to be successful. Robbie Anderson's a stud. Chris Herndon is a freaking beast. That Jets team has so much talent defensively, has tons of cap flexibility. They could be like a Chicago Bears with a Matt Nagy. They are a team that can actually make a wild card run because their team is freaking awesome. I know I hate on Sam Darnold. Fact is, their team is the Jets team is a young team that is a talented team. And if you put it together, and get the right head coach, there you go. There you go, Jet Central. Where does St. Nick play next year? I think Nick is losing to the Bears, and that is a great, great question. Possibly the Buccaneers. I got Dwayne going right to the New York Football Giants at number 6, or maybe the Jags will jump us for Dwayne Haskins. We'll take Drew Lock. We'll take either one of those guys. Quincy Enunwa was a decent player. Don't know a ton about him, but he's just okay. And the deal's very cheap. It's only $5 million. By the way, Jamal Adams, love everything he does. I love it. He's such a funny player. Jamal Adams, freaking beast. Le'Veon Bell to the Jets. Yes, do it. Get it done. By the way, Jets, don't get Fournette. Get Le'Veon Bell, okay? Fournette is a little injury-prone. Le'Veon Bell is an elite level player, okay? I even think Kareem Hunt has more value to a team than Leonard Fournette does. Guys want to win next year or what? You guys think you're the Chicago Bears right now? I don't think so, man. You got to get him. He's a huge splash. Jamal Adams will take care of him. Tremaine Johnson. You guys have leaders in that locker room, okay? Isaiah Crowell's played a lot of football in that position. Chris Herndon. You guys are a solid team. You guys have solid character guys. Now, it will be challenging for a new head coach. It will be challenging for a new head coach to come in there. And it will be challenging for a new head coach to control Le'Veon Bell. That will be a challenge, you know. That's a good point. New head coach with Le'Veon Bell could be a volatile free agent. Crazy. Big Blue for life, man. We still team Lock or what? I mean, Lock lost his bowl game, but Drew Lock looked pretty damn good in that bowl game. If Tua becomes a bust, man, I don't know what to do with myself. But if Sam Darnold succeeds, it would be the same scenario. Oh, man. I love Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. Foobzilla, thank you so much. Some of my film reviews hit. Some of them are terrible. I know my Sam Darnold review is bad. I like doing it for fun. I'm really glad you enjoy them. For the New York Jets, no one should sign McCarthy. He's a retread hire. He was led to the promised land by Aaron Rodgers. He's not an innovative young head coach. I don't like McCarthy one bit. He's not even a great motivator. I'll take Tua next year. If it's Haskins or Tua, Tua is Drew Brees. Tua is Drew Brees reincarnated. And I know guys like Shea Patterson better. They like Haskins better. I don't see Tua going to the New York Giants. I don't see Tua going to the New York Giants. Tua is Drew Brees. He's Steve Young. He's Hall of Famer. Love him. Love him more than any other prospect. I take Tua over any guy in the NFL right now, even over Mahomes. Shea Patterson fought. Shea Patterson has good mobility. I worry about his arm strength. You know how we worry about Will Greer's arm strength? Can Shea Patterson make a second-level throw? Can he make a second-level throw? He's got to get better at reading defenses, better at pocket awareness. And at Michigan, they don't let him throw a whole lot. So his stats aren't that great. And a lot of times it's a run-first heavy offense. Shea Patterson had good arm talent at Ole Miss, could throw the ball far at Ole Miss. But, oh man, Shea Patterson I still think needs a lot of refining, a lot of work. Daniel Jones, no thank you. We can cut it loose right here. No on Daniel Jones. No, 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 no. I'll get on the Haskins train. All right, I love Drew Lock. It's a shame Drew Lock is in this class because Drew Lock was my guy. But I think we all got to go aboard the Haskins train and say goodbye to the Lock train. I don't think so at all. Tua Tagovailoa in the pocket is a natural. Tua Tagovailoa is amazing. I'm the biggest Mahomes guy, Craig Davis. You know I picked Mahomes to win MVP before this year started. I'm losing Craig. Losing Craig Davis. Tagovailoa is, from day one, I'm marking Tagovailoa. Jet Central will take Shea Patterson. Dwayne Haskins and Drew Lock will be better than Darnold, Rosen, and Allen. Let me repeat that again. Dwayne Haskins or Drew Lock will be better than Darnold, Rosen, and Allen. That's my thoughts. I love this quarterback class. He's a good quarterback, Haskins. The one thing I worry about Haskins a lot, Daniel Jones has poor footwork, arm strength is not great, too quirky of a football player, very quirky player. Dwayne Haskins' release is so much cleaner. Drew Lock is so much cleaner than these quarterbacks. You're on the Drew Lock train, I'll board that train too. Haskins and Lock. The thing is with Dwayne Haskins, I'm worried about him against pressure. Like, he's not very mobile. But the point is, Dwayne Haskins can sense when the blitz is coming, and even if he gets hit, he's strong enough to throw the football. And he's a very accurate passer. Very accurate passer under pressure. So Dwayne Haskins is a guy under pressure that I think can step up and make great throws, and I think Oakland's going to give him a go. I think Denver's going to try to go up and get him. I think Jacksonville might try to go ahead of us. I think teams love Dwayne Haskins. Why wouldn't you? And the kid is a winner. The kid has won at every single level. Mitchell Trubisky was the 2nd overall pick. Dwayne Haskins is number 1. He played against Washington today. He does great against top-level competition. That is the reason he is better than Drew Lock. That is the reason he's better than Daniel Jones, because against top competition, the guy is dynamite. He shows up in the big moments. Dwayne Haskins for sure. Hell of a young quarterback. Giants fans love him. He's a Giant fan himself. I'm already with Dwayne Haskins. I love Dwayne Haskins. Yep. We're all going to support it. This guy is a good quarterback, much more proven. Justin Herbert only put up 7 points in his dang bowl game against a Big Ten team with a dinosaur head coach and a dinosaur philosophy in Michigan State. What happened to all those Herbanites? They're gone. It's all Dwayne Haskins. It's all Drew Lock, but mostly Haskins, and I'm totally fine with it. All the guys balled out. Josh Allen balled out. Devin White balled out. So the Herbanites, I call them. Whew. You guys still with me? You guys got any more feedback questions? Okay. Anthony, are you a Cowboy fan? For all my Niners fans here. Craig, Mahomes is incredible. Patrick Mahomes, dead Hall of Famer. Top 10 quarterback of all time. Incredible. Incredible. Patrick Mahomes will be a Super Bowl champion, 2-time, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Tua Tagovailoa will win about 3 or 4 himself. Both of those guys. Yes. I'm not alone. Bears need to hibernate. Bears need to hibernate for the winter, I tell you. The Bears need to hibernate. We need to lower the air in here. I like putting my air at about 64 degrees Fahrenheit Celsius. Make it all nice and cold, by the way. You can't sleep in a hot bed. Hell no. Should the Bills draft Derek Kyle Metcalf from the University of Ole Miss? And I say, quite possibly, yes. However, Harmon's a better receiver. You do have Foster, so you're not going to take Brown. What about guess what? Here's my guy for the Bills. Hakeem Butler. How about that one? Iowa State. Cyclone. Beast of a receiver. Colin Johnson today. Balling out. Hakeem Butler. Yep, it's us. It's just us. Just me and the bear hibernating. 2 bears related to one another. One day we'll do a 24-hour live stream together. But, yep, Whiteside, yep. You gotta go. We gotta go to New York and get you some Ray-Bans, my dude. Oh, yeah, the NC State kid. I heard that was a great game at A&M last night. But the Buffalo Bills need so much help. I think that they got to draft a tackle. So let's give the Buffalo Bills Dalton Risner that toughness. Let's give we got to give Josh Allen some guys on the offensive side of the football with Deion Dawkins. We got to give him a left tackle, okay? You got to protect Josh Allen. That's why first round we ain't messing around with any wide receivers. Let's go with Dalton Risner. Let's go with the Ford kid from Oklahoma. Let's get Dalton Risner to Buffalo. Dalton Risner fits in the Buffalo. Let's get, Risner, Jonah Williams, Greg Little. Josh Allen needs protection. Let's go offensive line in Buffalo. Guess what? Denver. Davis Webb's going there. Davis will be your bridge to 2020. Let Davis Webb go to Denver. If Denver's picking at 10, they might pick Drew Lock or Haskins. Denver, with a good young coach and a quarterback, is right there next year to be great. I love the kid out of Memphis. Yes, exactly. Whenever teams want a prospect you like, that means that it's a good player. I'll tell you what, though. What the heck was I going to say here about great running backs? The guy from Memphis is a good running back. Henderson is a really good running back. I think it's D'Angelo Henderson or something. Henderson from Memphis, the Memphis running back, whoever he is an unbelievable running back. I'll just say that. He's going to be a second or third round player. I love him. I love that running back. Darrell Henderson. Thank you, Jason. Darrell Henderson. Oh, man. So to go over the reviews for the coaching hires, I like Severini. I like Freddie Kitchens. I like Shane Waldron, Zach Taylor. I really like Shane Waldron going to a small market because you have to figure out if his personality is good. Odell to San Francisco is great. Other coaching hires that I think would make a lot of sense. I love Cliff Kingsbury getting interviewed by the Jets. The Jets are doing their due diligence in the search. I think Severini will be great from the Colts. I think the Chargers quarterback coach is a very good coach. Could Pat Fitzgerald be an NFL head coach? Certainly. He's a beast at Northwestern. People swear by him. Him and Aaron Rodgers would be the weirdest grouping ever. But Patty Fitz is a freaking beast, and I have so much respect for Patty Fitz. JC, thanks so much. Let's freaking do it right now. One of the last topics of the day before Jake Fromm is not even going to be drafted into the NFL. There's my hot take, and there's a take I believe in. Dalton Risner for Big Blue for life. Last topic I'm going to get to. I'm going to fill in the coaching vacancies right now. Let's start off with the first one to be filled, the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals will select Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur. Arizona Cardinals. Adam Gase is not a bad option. I'm taking LaFleur to Arizona. For the Packers, the Green Bay Packers. Oh, this one is tough. Patty Fitz is not leaving. I'm going to go with Josh McDaniels to Green Bay. Home run hire, great hire. For the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to go with a hire I'm going to hate. Mike McCarthy. We're going to be one of the worst hires. Going to be one of the worst hires. Cleveland's going to take McCarthy. John Dorsey's going to take Mike McCarthy. The New York Jets. This is where it gets fun. The New York Jets right now. If I had to guess, I want to say Chris Richard, but they're not going to have the balls to do it. McCarthy is friends with the other guy. I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to do the Cincinnati hire. It's not going to be Hugh Jackson. I'm going to put Shane Waldron in Cincinnati. I think Shane will win that argument. For the New York Jets, if Cliff Kingsbury, I think Cliff Kingsbury wins. And I think that would be the greatest hire of all. I'm all in. Cliff Kingsbury, new jerseys, new team. Everybody's getting pumped. Andy Garcia, what's happening? I want Chris Richard to get a job. I don't know if he'll get one, though, unfortunately. I want Richard to go to the Browns with Baker Mayfield. Shane Waldron is going to have a leg up in Cincinnati. I think Shane's going to do it. We forgot about the Bucs and the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to go boring. The Dolphins are going to go Dan Campbell, special teams coordinator, New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guess what Tampa Bay is going to do? Oh, shoot, we forgot about the Denver freaking Broncos. Denver is going to go with an experienced head coach, not John Harbaugh. Not John Harbaugh. They're going to go with Mike Shanahan or Adam Gase. I could see them go, you know what? I'm going to put them down Adam Gase, Denver Broncos, which I don't like at all either. I really don't like that decision. It's going to be a bad choice. I'm going to put Richard going to the Bucs. Let's make it fun. Chris Richard on the Bucs. That would be so lit. Urban Meyer will be coaching by the time this video is over. In fairness to Urban, I pray that he gets better. A great win for him today. I hope that he comes back very, very soon. It's just fun having him in football. Cliff Kingsbury, New York Jets. Cliff Kingsbury, New York Jets. Cliff Kingsbury, New York Jets. Chris Richard, New York Jets. Chris Richard. Elway doesn't want Gase. Okay. Zach Taylor, how about that? Maybe Taylor, but I'm thinking a stale old defensive mind, Vic Fangio. That's a better one for Denver. Let's go Vic Fangio out in Denver. I like that. Zach Taylor. Where did I put Taylor? Did I put Taylor anywhere? Taylor's got to get hired. I want Taylor in Denver. That's what I want, but I'm afraid they're going to hire Vic Fangio. I want Taylor in Denver because I want Webb to be with Taylor in Denver. Richard, I don't think he'll take a defensive coordinator position, but the thing that's amazing is Richard's a USC guy. That would be so crazy if Marvin Lewis. In Tampa, that is the most unpredictable landing spot for sure in the coaching search. So it's going to be tough. Cleveland, unfortunately, it might be Mike McCarthy or Severini. I think it's going to be McCarthy. I cannot wait. It is. Amen. It is going to be an incredible offseason. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for it all. If they get Bruce Arians, that's a possibility. He might want to work with Jameson Winston. Marvin Lewis. And the one thing I'll say this about Marvin, great person, wonderful person. We all know that. We all know he's such a class act. We all love Marvin. Still going on. I officially made it back, guys. I apologize. I had to find a charger before the night would be over. I want to say this to all of you guys. I was talking about Marvin. I love you, Marvin. Good night. Have a great night, Marvin Lewis. But it was a hell of a stream. I want to end it the right way. Rover is revived before his hibernation. It was a great stream. The chat was so live. We had a wonderful time. I hope the chat's always that live. It was amazing. Have a great night, everybody. Love talking coaches. Love talking football. Bid you guys all a great night. And I can't wait to talk so soon. The next call-in won't be tonight, but it'll be so soon. Marcus, I appreciate that. Maybe tomorrow, might be linking up with a close friend. We might do a surprise show tomorrow. But anyway, let's get to 58 minutes. I kind of like 58. I kind of like that number. Let me ask the person that is here how much longer I can go, which is 2 minutes to hit the hour. I'm going to go 2 minutes. I'm going to go 2 more minutes. Wish everybody good night. I hope people watch this. I might upload the thumbnail. I might have to do a whole podcast when I get back home to Philly. But I'm also going to do a Josh Allen film review very soon. And I'm also excited to see other content you guys are putting out. My phone died. Phone died on me, Craig. But Craig, go Chiefs, man. Can't wait for Arrowhead Stadium. Arrowhead's going to be great.
Texas versus Georgia. Everybody wanted Georgia in the Final Four. The Georgia fans are some of the cockiest fans. It was damn funny. And, Georgia kind of got what they deserved. Their players were running their mouth saying they should have been there instead of Notre Dame. They lost by 20 to LSU. And tonight, Texas wanted it more. They played tough in the trenches. Texas has great talent all over the field. Tom Herman's done an unbelievable job. But Georgia got karma because Georgia, they overlooked that Sugar Bowl. And Texas came out and smacked them. Craig, that's awesome, man. It's awesome you're from NYC. I don't want that. I don't want that. Nick Foles is not going to work in the Giants system. So, but what a night for Texas football. Tom Herman was absolutely spectacular. What an incredible night by Tom and his staff. Jake Fromm is not an NFL quarterback. He's a decent college player. UGA, all their fans whining about not getting into the playoff, whining on social media. It all came back to hurt them tonight. Texas straight up owned them. Kirby Smart didn't utilize Justin Fields. He treated Justin like a joke. I mean, you can't treat a great five-star quarterback like that. And now Justin Fields is gone and Jacob Eason is gone. Nick Mullins, man, my guy. But Nick was sloppy against the Rams. Good backup quarterback, not going to be a starter. We hit the 1 minute mark. You guys are fantastic. What a wonderful night. What a wonderful, great time. Talked all the drafts. I hope you guys appreciate my insight. Good luck with your coaching searches. And take care, y'all. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you.